It's time for high school baseball on KDAO. Tonight's game is brought to you by Central State Bank, Partner Communications, Marshalltown Community College, Hardin County Savings Bank, Minerva Valley Companies, Ellsworth Community College, Hanson Family Hospital, J&T Plumbing and Heating, D&B Agro Systems, Eldora Hy-Vee. Now, high school baseball on KDAO.
Good afternoon, everyone. On a perfect day for high school baseball, I'm Chuck Carpenter. Yes, we are coming to you on a afternoon. It's the first game of a doubleheader. We're doing the first game tonight. We're in Grundy Center tonight. This is going to be a great game, and we're talking about a Class 2A district quarterfinal, and the winner this is a semifinal, and the winner goes into the championship game on Saturday. Still another game to get before you get to state. We're talking about South Hardin and West Marshall. We've got a great crowd. It's a perfect day at a lovely facility in Grundy Center. Grundy Center gets the second game tonight with Appleton Park as a But this first game is going to be a dandy. West Marshall with a little bit of a break. And they've got all their pitchers rested because they got a first-round bye. They're 18-12. They play in that tough Heart of Iowa Conference. And, yes, they have played 30 games this year. They've won 3 games in a row. And the South Hardin boys, you talk about a hot team. They've only won their last 9 games in a row. Now, they just won last night over Sumner Fredericksburg, 18-7. So they haven't they haven't gotten the rest that West Marshall has gotten, but they did get a game in last night against live pitching, so that's a plus for them. Now, on the other hand, they did go through 2 pitchers, and we all know in the tournaments, pitching is everything. Pitching is everything, and I know I don't know this for sure. I assume one of West Marshall's job is to try to get into the bullpen. Now, they are going to throw, and the thing is, though, South Hardin's got really, really good pitching depth, and tonight they're going to be throwing Peyton Welch, and he's a senior, and I know that West Marshall is going to try to get into their bullpen and really get into their depth. And, South Hardin, they're going to say the same thing because Beckham DeSoto is going to be pitching, and both teams, they want to have good at-bats, and they want to get into the bullpen, and that's really going to be a key, especially for South Hardin, who went through 2 pitchers last night in their 18-7 win over Sumner Fredericksburg. I think in that game they scored 9 runs in the first inning, man, and then it was a little bit of a dogfight from there. So this is going to be a great game tonight. The winner plays on Saturday night against either Grundy Center or AP, and you know what? It's interesting. Maybe it's only me, but it was a year ago tonight in this very same game. I think it was in New Hampton that West Marshall beat South Hardin by a score of 3-0 in a district semifinal ball game. So you don't think that's weighing on South Hardin's mind. Hey, the umpires are on the scene. We've got everybody all set and ready to go. I'll be back with some more pregame chit-chat. This is going to be a great game, man, between West Marshall and South Hardin on KDAO Radio and KDAO.com.
My family grew up with Central State Bank. From my first savings account to our first mortgage, growing a business, and planning for retirement. They've been with us through it all. And just like family, they call you by name. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you.
Hi, this is Chris from Partner Communications. Did you know we now offer electrical services? Whether you're looking to change out a few lights within the home or wiring a whole new house, Partner can get it done. Master electrician Jeff Campbell will come to your home and provide you with a free estimate. Residential, agricultural, or commercial, let our courteous professional technicians complete your electrical projects. Call our office today, 641-498-7701.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School Tournament Baseball on KDAO Radio, KDAO.com. I'm Chuck Carpenter. We got a great game here tonight. First game of a doubleheader. We're talking about South Hardin from the NICL, and they have won 9 games in a row. They're 18-7. They beat Sumner Fredericksburg last night by a score of 20-6, and they're going to take on West Marshall out of the heart of Iowa. West Marshall had that little bit of a break over the holiday, so they're all rested, and they've got all their pitchers at their full disposal, and they're going to go with Beacon DeSoto tonight. West Marshall's 18-12 in that tough heart of Iowa conference, and they have won 3 ball games in a row. The winner gets either Grundy Center or AP on Saturday night. We've got a great crowd, and of course, there's a lot of Grundy Center and AP people here too to get their seat, because I think they want to get their seat, and then they also want to watch a good baseball game tonight, because somebody's going to face the winner on Saturday night. You know what? Let's meet the starting lineups for South Hardin. Like I said, they've won 9 ball games in a row. 1 year ago, in this very same game, they lost to they lost to West Marshall by a score of 3-0. So they have a little extra motivation. So here's the starting lineup for South Hardin. They're very good, 1 through 9. Josh Spindler is the center fielder, number 7. He's a sophomore. He'll lead it off for the Tigers. Peyton Welch will be the pitcher tonight. Peyton is a senior, good all-around athlete, and he wears number 2. Batting in the 3rd spot is Casey Williamson. He's a left fielder, number 20, and he is a junior. Batting in the 4th spot is Garrett Anderson. Garrett, number 17, is the 3rd baseman. He's a junior. Preston Dolash will be the 1st baseman tonight. Speaking of good all-around athletes, he wears number 14, and he is a senior. Bo Carpenter is the catcher tonight, wears 0. He is a senior. So it's a good senior-dominated lineup here for Coach Weig's team. Batting in the 7th position is Braden Weig. Braden is a shortstop, sophomore, number 12. Kobe Zolar is the right fielder, number 5. He's a junior. And batting in the 9th spot is Clayton Cable, second baseman, number 6. So it's Spindler, Welch, Williamson, Anderson, Dolash, Carpenter, Weig, Zoller, and Cable. South Hardin beat Sumner Fred last night by a score of 18-7. They scored 9 runs in the first inning, had to hang on. They did burn a couple of pitchers, so we'll keep an eye on their pitching. And if you're South Hardin, you're hoping that Peyton Welch gives you a lot of innings tonight, so you don't have to go deep into your bullpen. Okay, for West Marshall, they're rested and they're ready to go. And here's their lineup, and it's very good, again, from 1 to 9. I mean, everybody's very good. And at this time of the year, especially in this game, you don't really expect a lot of, 15 to 14 crazy games. Evan Siegert's going to lead it off. He's the senior, 3rd baseman, number 7. And senior Hunter Pollard, we all know he's a good golfer, but he's a good baseball player, too. He's number 9. He's the left fielder, batting 2nd. Beacon DeSoto will be the pitcher tonight. He swings a big bat for West Marshall. He wears number 23. He's a junior. Batting in the cleanup spot is Riley Hanford, number 13. He's the freshman catcher. Drake Whitaker is number 8, and he is the shortstop. He is the sophomore. Now, the designated hitter for West Marshall is Carver Christensen, and he'll be batting for the second baseman, Levi Jewell. Carver is a junior, and Levi, the second baseman, is an 8th grader. Batting in the 7th position will be Blake Hart. Blake is a junior, 1st baseman. Batting in the 8th position is Bo Benson. Wears number 12. He's the right fielder. He's a freshman. And then Turner DeRosset, number 2, is the freshman center fielder. So they have 2 seniors. They lost a lot of good seniors from last year's team that almost went to state. And South Hardin, on the other hand, has just a little more season. And a lot of these guys remember the game a year ago when West Marshall won by a score of 3-0. Today's winner is going to take on either AP or Grundy Center Saturday night at 7 in the district championship game. This is going to be a great game. We have a huge crowd on hand tonight on a very, very warm afternoon/evening for high school baseball. It's South Hardin and West Marshall, and we'll be back with the first pitch after these messages on KDAO.
In Searing, McCallsburg, St. Anthony, Clemens, and the surrounding rural areas, Minerva Valley Companies is your local provider for internet service, local and long-distance telephone, and digital video, all available from one local provider. At Minerva Valley, they offer fiber to the home, high-speed internet, telephone service, and digital video TV. You pick the programming package, and Minerva Valley will give you great service. See why Minerva Valley should be your source for entertainment and internet. Log on to minervavalley.com. Minerva Valley Companies, providing voice, video, and data.
Are you ready to make the most of your college experience? Look no further than Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls, Iowa. At Ellsworth, we offer a world of possibilities with 55 different academic programs to choose from. We also offer 8 NJCAA athletic programs and 2 club programs so you can get involved in the sport you love and be part of a winning team. Ellsworth Community College is where you can experience a 4-year education in just 2 years. Ready to take the first step? Visit us online at ellsworthcollege.com for more information or give us a call at 641-648 or 611. Experience Ellsworth today.
All Hanson Family Hospital clinics are now scheduling athletic sports physicals for middle, high school, and college students. This special is $38 for middle and high school students and $80 for college students if paid day of service. This special is not filed with insurance and payment must be at time of service to receive the discounted price. It does not include immunizations or any other services. Call your provider today to avoid the end of summer rush. Hanson Family Hospital and Clinics is healthcare you can count on.
You are listening to Central Iowa High School Baseball, Tournament Baseball. This is District Semifinal Baseball on KDAO Radio, KDAO.com, Radio on the Go Sports. I'm Chuck Carpenter. Nice to have you along. And like I said, the winner is going to play either AP or Grundy Center. They get the second game tonight. So, here's West Marshall. And West Marshall, like I said, they've been off for a few days, so they got that bye. And, will they come out rusty? Defense is very, very key for both teams, and it's always a key. I know I talk about this so much whenever I do ball games, but it's true. In this world of pitch counts, which have been around for about 10 years, it's always important to play good defense and not give anybody freebies. Because when you make an error behind your pitcher, that's just more pitches that he has to throw, and that really runs up the pitch count. And I know that's a concern, especially for South Hardin. Even though the good thing for South Hardin, they're very deep in their rotation, they did burn 2 pitchers last night. So here's Beckham DeSoto. I mean, they could have went with Seeger, they could have went with Pauli, they could have went with Christensen. So both these teams have good pitching depth, and we'll see what Beckham DeSoto has. He's a junior. He's one of those guys that seemingly is like played forever, Beckham is 3-4 with 40 innings pitched. He has a 2.45 ERA, 60 strikeouts, and 18 walks. And obviously, Coach Brown wants to get as many innings as he can so he doesn't have to go deep into his bullpen. And as we talked about before, even if coaches don't want to admit it, especially as this game goes along, you got to start looking ahead. Especially if you're ahead, you got to start looking ahead to the next game. I know before the pitch count thing, that was taboo. Okay, South Hardin, they're a good team up and down the lineup. Well, they've won 9 ball games in a row, man. And they're 18-7, coming off Sumner Fred, where they scored 20 runs last night, including 9 in the first inning. It'll be Josh Spindler, Peyton Welch, and Casey Williamson. If anybody gets on base, Garrett Anderson. It's a good lineup up and down. The job of both these offenses, obviously, is to score runs, but also try to run the pitch count up and have good at-bats. Lots of foul balls, etc., etc. And the first pitch misses. It's a very warm day for high school baseball, but there's no rain in this forecast. It's a beautiful day. 1-0 is the count. And next pitch from Beckham DeSoto to Spindler. Misses. Now, you get him on base with good speed. He has 12 stolen bases. Spindler, Welch, Williamson. If anybody gets on base, Garrett Anderson. Nobody on, nobody out. We're just underway. They kind of went back to doubleheaders this year after a few years not having doubleheaders. I think probably because of umpire shortages. Okay, the 2-0, and here it is to Spindler. And there is a line drive foul down the third base line. The catcher, who's Riley Hanford, a freshman, gets a new one. Spindler, he's a peck of trouble when he gets on base. He's batting .520. He's got 12 stolen bases. South Hardin can bring some heat. Another ground ball foul. And again, the more foul balls you foul off. That just increases the pitch count thing. And your defense has to play good behind you so you don't give them any extra outs. So, yeah. Since the pitch count thing came along, baseball, I don't want to say it's more complicated, but let's just say it's more involved. There's more thinking involved. Okay, 2-2 to the leadoff batter, Spindler from DeSoto. Swinging a chopper to the second baseman, gets it on 2 hops, throws it high, but out. The second baseman, Jewell, threw it high, but Blake Hart did a good job, and they got the speedy Spindler by a step. So ground ball to the second baseman. Now Beckham was behind in the count, came back to get him. And here's Peyton Welch. It's just a good lineup. And Peyton batting .323 with 12 RBIs and 4 doubles. There's a strike called outside corner. Last night, South Hardin had 9 runs early against Sumner Fredericksburg, and then I think pretty much had to play the whole game. 18-7, they used a couple of pitchers. That's a strike call. Beckham, somewhat of a strikeout sort in 40 innings. He has struck out 60, and he's walked 18. West Marshall usually plays good defense. A lot of new faces out there, but now they're seasoned. That's a strike 3 called outside corner. So already you can tell that the umpire is going to give the outside corner. So that's something that everybody has to adjust to. So Welch, good hitter, strikes out. Here's Casey Williamson batting .367. Top 5 hitters have some really, really good averages for South Hardin. But when I do games, sometimes the bottom of the order does a good job too. There's a swing and a foul. South Hardin just played last night. West Marshall had a nice long break over the weekend and some good practices as well. Kind of like Grundy Center, who's going to play AP tonight. The next pitch is on the way with 2 out. Strike call. So Beckham got behind the leadoff batter Spindler, and then he hasn't been behind anybody since. 0-2 is the count. Next pitch, Casey Williamson. And here it is, missed upstairs. A year ago tonight, almost tonight, we were in New Hampton, and West Marshall defeated South Hardin by a score of 3-0 in this very same game. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So Beckham strikes out the side, 1-2-3. That's always nice to have. And West Marshall comes to the plate with Seeger, Polly, and DeSoto. Bottom of the first coming up next for you on KDAO.
J&T Plumbing and Heating in Hubbard has served Hardin, Hamilton, and Story counties for over 40 years. With that kind of experience, J&T has the knowledge, technology, and equipment to fix any problem you have and fix it right the first time. Plus, they do it at an affordable price. J&T's professional staff's priority is outstanding service and taking care of their customers' home. That's why the next time you have a need for plumbing, heating, or drain and sewer services, one call does it all. J&T Plumbing and Heating in Hubbard. Online at jntplumbing.com. Is owned and operated by Wink Services.
At Hardin County Savings Bank, we have school spirit. Mascots are full of school spirit, and they're helping us give back to local schools. With every HCSB debit card swipe, you're helping fund school events and activities. Register today for HCSB Cash for schools programs and join us in making a difference. At Hardin County Savings Bank, we have school spirit.
Welcome back to Tournament Baseball. Yep, this is the first game of a doubleheader. We'll be doing this first game, and Grundy Center is going to take on AP next. And tonight's all about baseball. Tomorrow night, it's all about softball. I know I'm going to be in State Center tomorrow night doing the West Marshall girls against Belmont Clemmy, and then maybe some more softball on Friday, and then maybe we'll be back here on Saturday for baseball. Okay, now South Hardin went down in order 1, 2, 3. So they're going to turn to one of their good seniors as the pitcher, Preston Dolash. Now, like I said, Peyton Welch. Peyton Welch is the pitcher tonight. Peyton is 1-0 with a 2.03 ERA in 20 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts, and 34 walks, okay? So he does tend to walk people, and you really don't want to do that here in the tournaments. And, of course, West Marshall, a few years ago, they had guys that hit home runs. They pretty much don't do that anymore, although DeSoto definitely is. So, when you talk about West Marshall's lineup, even Evan Seegert, who's hitting right now, and Hunter Polly, they like to get on base, and they like to get people on base ahead of Beckham DeSoto, okay? And the first pitch missed outside. Evan Seegert, senior. So they have 2 seniors in the lineup. It'll be Seegert here. Good all-around athlete, batting .337. His brother was very good. 8 doubles, a home run, 19 runs batted in. And that missed outside. South Hardin went through 2 pitchers last night. So here's Peyton Welch. Good news is for South Hardin, they do have very good pitching depth. And here comes the 2-0, and it's headed home. And there's a ground ball to the shortstop, who gets it. Long throw, out. That was a routine play, but Weig had to make that play. Seegert with great speed. And like I said, you eliminate one of those table setters because you really don't want to pitch to people on base. Well, you really don't want to pitch to Beckham DeSoto with people on base. And here's Hunter Polly. We all know how good of a golfer he is, but he's a good baseball player too, and he's a good pitcher. He's batting .315. And that missed. Hunter balling .315, 3 doubles. He's got 22 RBIs, so Seegert and Polly are the 2 seniors. for West Marshall, who got hit with a lot of graduation losses. And that misses. The last, I know 2 years in a row, they've lost in the sub-state championship game. And 2 is the count on Hunter Poly with 1 out. Welch with another delivery. That's a strike called inside corner. Now, like I said, Peyton has struck out 28, but he's also walked 34. So they're hoping he doesn't be walking people today. There's a foul straight back. South Hardin has won 9 ball games in a row. And West Marshall has won 3 in a row. And here's the 2-2 to Hunter. That's a strike called inside corner. Kind of interesting because when Beckham DeSoto was pitching, they gave him the outside corner. And now, with Peyton Welch, they're giving him the inside corner. Here's Beckham DeSoto. Now, if you're South Hardin, it's nice to bat to him with nobody on base because Beckham, he's a heck of a batter. 443 with 13 doubles, 6 home runs, and 36 runs batted in, and 11 stolen bases. That missed upstairs. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second inning in front of a huge crowd on a very, very warm day, but it's a perfect day for high school baseball in Grundy Center. Here comes the 1-0. Swinging a pop fly foul. We'll do it again. Beckham stands back in. Got no score. Bottom of the first inning. And the next delivery to Beckham is fouled away. And, of course, the more foul balls, you run up the pitch count. And I know West Marshall especially, I mean, they saw the game last night in Eldora. Of course, those games were supposed to be played on Friday night. So they know that South Hardin has already used up 2 pitchers. So they really want to try to get into the bullpen, but Peyton's done a good job. He set down the first 2. Here comes the 1-2, and there's a swing and a miss, and struck him out. So 2 strikeouts for both pitchers. 1 inning in the books. We're off to a good start here. We have no score. It's South Hardin and West Marshall. I'll be back on KDAO.
For your commercial or agricultural projects, trust D&B Agrosystems of Hubbard. D&B Agrosystems is a turnkey operation for commercial and on-the-farm solutions. At D&B, they offer grain storage, handling, and dry systems for all sizes of operation. For more than 40 years, D&B has built a name of consistently delivering quality products and prompt, reliable service at competitive prices. For complete details on what D&B Agrosystems of Hubbard can do for your operation, visit dnbsystems.com.
From their meat counter to the produce section to the bakery, your Eldora Hy-Vee store offers you the best selection of high-quality grocery items. You'll find everything you need for your family, and you'll save money too. Check out the Eldora Hy-Vee store's weekly specials and fuel saver items that save you money not only at the checkout counter, but at the gas pump as well. And if you're hungry, well, there's always something good cooking in the deli at your Eldora Hy-Vee store, where there's large town variety and small town friendliness.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball, Tournament Baseball on KDAO as we go to the top of the second inning. And we've had no base runners. The pitchers pitching very well. Peyton Welch for South Hardin. Beckham DeSoto for West Marshall. Beckham goes to the second. It'll be Garrett Anderson, Preston Dolash, and Bo Carpenter. If anybody gets on base, Braden White. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. South Hardin, a very hot team. They've won 9 games in a row. Motivated by that loss last year to the same West Marshall team. Although the West Marshall team last year was a little different than this year. They lost a lot of seniors. Still managed to compile a record of 18-12. And yep, they have played 30 games. That's just what Coach Brown does. So, here comes Garrett Anderson. Garrett's a junior third baseman, stepping in from number 17 from the right side. And Beckham DeSoto. First pitch. Missed outside. Garrett batting .292 with a home run, 6 doubles, and 24 runs batted in. No base runners. Huge crowd on hand tonight on a very warm day for high school baseball. Swinging, there's a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop gets it, throws it, scooped. Good job by Hart, the first baseman, to scoop it up. It was deep in the hole, and Whitaker had to wait for it. And he got a little assist there from Hart, who scooped it. Good job by Hart at first base. That's the second good play Mr. Hart has made at first base. Grandpa Hart should be proud. Here's Preston Dolash. I assume his grandpa is in the crowd somewhere. There's a strike call. Preston, another good hitter. He's the first baseman and another good athlete, batting .395, 5 home runs, 31 runs batted in, 8 doubles. Don't want to make a mistake on him. And Beckham's 0-1 is headed home. High. 1-1 the count. 4 in a row set down by this pitcher. We just figured, man, this would be a very, very good baseball game. Here comes the 1-1. That hit the outside corner. So once again, the ump has given Beckham the outside corner, and he gave Peyton Welch the inside corner. The Tiger pitcher. Here comes the 1-2 to Preston Dolash. And here it is. That missed upstairs. Don't want to give up any freebies. No walks, no errors, no hit batsmen. 2-2 is the count with 1 out. And Beckham DeSoto's next pitch, that was a little too high outside. So now we have a full count. Preston, number 14, a senior. 4 good seniors in this lineup. And the 3-2 delivery is headed home, and here it is. That hit the outside corner. That's 3 strikeouts for Beckham. Next up, here's Bo Carpenter. Bo, senior catcher, 0-0, batting .211. 5 in a row set down by Beckham DeSoto, the junior now. First pitch, that hit the outside corner. And it's not just only the pitch count, too, but, of course, the heat and things like that. So I'm sure the coaches, keep an eye on their pitchers here today. In the heat of the day, 0-1 is the count. And there's a swing and a miss. I think it's right around 87 degrees. See, Andrew Sternhagen, he gave the weather stuff, but I didn't hear him in the pregame. I should have had him do that live on my broadcast here. That would have been fun. Okay, in the dirt, as I lost control of this game momentarily, but now I have it back. 1-2 is the count. In the dirt, Carpenter steps out. Bo steps back in with the .211 batting average and 1-2 the count. And Beckham striving for the strikeout. He missed outside. Little upstairs and outside. 2-2 the count. We've had no base runners. Good defense, good pitching by both teams in the early stages of this semifinal baseball game. Next pitch. Swing, and there's a ground ball. Hart gets it at first. Steps on the base for the out. Hart's been good. He has made 2 really good assists, and then he took care of that himself. So, kind of a quick mover here. We go to the bottom of the second inning. The Tigers come to the plate. The Trojans come to the plate, and Peyton Welch goes back on the mound for South Hardin, and we have no score. Bottom of the second coming up next for you on KDAO.
My family grew up with Central State Bank. From my first savings account to our first mortgage, growing a business, and planning for retirement. They've been with us through it all. And just like family, they call you by name. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you.
Hi, this is Chris from Partner Communications. Did you know we now offer electrical services? Whether you're looking to change out a few lights within the home or wiring a whole new house, Partner can get it done. Master electrician Jeff Campbell will come to your home and provide you with a free estimate. Residential, agricultural, or commercial, let our courteous professional technicians complete your electrical projects. Call our office today, 641-498-7701.
You are listening to Central Iowa High School tournament baseball action on KDAO Radio and KDAO.com. And we're doing this early because this is the first game of a doubleheader in Grundy Center. The second game tonight will be Grundy Center and AP, and then the winners will meet in Grundy Center at 7 p.m. in the district championship game. And remember, we still have a sub-state game to do after that to get you to state. That will be on the 14th. But that's what we have going on. And depending on who wins tonight, we'll be covering the Saturday night game. I know I'm going to be here anyway because I have to stream a parade at 4 o'clock in Grundy Center. So, Peyton Welch, who set down the first 3, will deal with 4, 5, and 6, Riley Hanford, Drake Whittaker, Carver Christensen. If anybody gets on base, Blake Hart. West Marshall has seen a lot of people playing in a tough conference, and South Hardin has played in a tough conference. West Marshall has played their usual 30 games, and South Hardin has played 25. Here's Riley Hanford. And he hits a fly ball to the left fielder, who goes over and makes a great play, a foot in fair territory, and he slid as he caught it. That was a great play. Had he not caught it, that probably would have been a double. So that's a great, great play by Casey Williamson. It was a sinking liner. It was going to be, he caught it in fair territory and then slid. Had that got by him, that might have rolled in for a triple, but it did not. So a fly out to the left fielder. Good job there by the left fielder for South Hardin. And the first pitch misses to Drake Whitaker, batting .202. He's got 22 stolen bases, so it would behoove the Tigers to keep him off base, That one missed outside. Once again, just a great play by Casey Williamson for South Hardin. He took away a double and maybe even a triple. There's a strike call. 4 in a row set down by Peyton Welch. And 2-1 is the count. There's a pop-up. No play for anybody. South Hardin just played last night. West Marshall has had a little rest. They got the first round bye. Whitaker is the shortstop. He's a sophomore. Swinging a foul ball. So a good at bat, as we mentioned. Even if you don't get on base, if you can get a bunch of foul balls or run up the pitch count, that's a plus. That's what we call good at bats. 2-2 the count on Drake Whitaker. And this pitcher working in a hurry. That missed outside. Like I said, the only thing, Peyton once in a while gets a little wild. His stats show 28 strikeouts and 34 walks. So 3-2 is the count. And there's ball 4. And he just put a guy on base that has really, really good speed. So I think right away Carpenter's going to get tested. Now, I've seen Carpenter throw people out, too. So there's a walk, and I halfway imagine Drake Whitaker is probably going to try to steal a base. He's probably the fastest kid on the team with 22 stolen bases. This is Carver Christensen batting .260 with a home run and 25 RBIs. We'll see if he's going to bunt. Tigers don't think so. That missed upstairs. Runner not going, so Drake Whitaker with a one-out walk. Again, he's got 22 stolen bases. Now, Carpenter's a very, very good catcher, so we'll see what happens here. 1-0 the count. They hold against him. Next pitch, that missed. 2-0 the count on Carver Christensen. Barring a double play, we'll see Blake Hart. Throw over to first base, not in time. And again, Whitaker, probably the fastest kid on the team with 22 stolen bases. Carver is a designated hitter. He's a junior. Runner is going. Throw down to second base. He's safe as the ball got away. Might have been a bang-bang play anyway. And unfortunately, it looks like Whitaker is kind of shaken up down there. The throw down there, I thought maybe it was going to be a bang-bang play, but the ball got away, and now Whitaker, they bring everybody out, so hope for the best there on Drake. There was a collision, and he slid into second base, so he stands up now, so he'll be credited for a stolen base. At first I thought, this is going to be a close play, and then the ball just got away. And now Whitaker is just trying to shake it off, so when we resume, they'll have second and one out. The trainer's out there, and the coaches are out there, and everybody's out there. And he's okay. So, a walk and a stolen base. Bad things happen when you walk people, so let's see what happens. Now the Tigers are in a jam. And especially with his speed, considering he's 100%, a base hit most likely would score Whitaker, who's got good speed. So, a walk and a stolen base. Bad things happen when you walk people. And, by the way, we have a 3-0 count. And there's a strike call. So this pitcher, Peyton Welch, had set down 4 in a row, then a one-out walk to Drake Whitaker, and then a stolen base. And now here comes the 3-1. It's headed home. That's in the dirt. Okay. So that's a walk, and when you walk people, yep, that runs up the pitch count. So Carver is going to run, and here's Blake Hart. Blake batting .150 with 10 RBIs. So here's the deal. Little drama here in the bottom of the second. Drake Whitaker is on at second. Carver Christensen is the trailer at first for West Marshall, and we have no score. And the first pitch is a strike call. Denny Dirks is on his phone. He shouldn't be on his phone because he's missing a good baseball game. I just observed that. Okay, 0-1 is the count. Blake Hart, next pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. If nothing else, Blake would at least want to try to advance these base runners. Bo Benson is in the on-deck circle as we work our way into the bottom of the order. Catcher comes out. Bo comes out. And they have a little visit. So the first baseman joins in. So now, again, for West Marshall, here's an opportunity. Still no hits, but a walk. Well, actually 2 walks and a stolen base. And here's Blake Hart. 0-2 the count. Tigers need the strikeout. Swing and a foul. It went off the catcher, and it went off the umpire. If you're South Hardin, you could really use the strikeout here. Welch has struck out 2. Gotten himself in trouble here with a couple of walks. And here comes the 0-2. That missed upstairs. And a few of the Tiger fans howl about that, but I think it was upstairs and inside. 1-2 is the count. Base hit most likely would chase a run home. Swing, and there's a pop-up. And you better get back to second base. The shortstop gets it, and he throws to second base. He's going to be safe barely. So Whitaker was 3/4 of the way to third base and was a pop-up to the shortstop. And he barely beat the throw back. Well, here's Bo Benson looking for, what do we say? The all-important 2-out RBI base hit. The right fielder, the freshman, so all the pressure is on this freshman batting 200 in the bottom of the order here. That missed downstairs. So a pop-up. West Marshall very fortunate they didn't get doubled off there. So we had a runner at second and 1 out. Now we got second and first and 2 out. And the 1-0, here it is. And again, that missed. Benson, the 8th place hitter. DeRossett, the 9th place hitter. And there's no way that South Hardin wants to deal with the top of the order with people on base. Because if they do, that means they're in trouble. There's a strike call. So the bottom of the order trying to get something done. And Peyton Welch trying to work around a couple of walks here in the bottom of the second inning on KDAO. Look back at the runner. Here comes 2-1. Missed outside. So 3-1 is the count. Now DeRossett, the 9th place hitter's in the on-deck circle. And then you're talking about Seegert in the top of the order. So 3-1 is the count. Swing, and there's a bullet right back to the pitcher who gets it, flips it out. I mean, he hit a bullet, but the pitcher was able to knock it down. Nice play by the pitcher, Peyton Welch. Got himself out of trouble. And then the other thing that happens there, the 9th place hitter will be leading off the third inning. So, Peyton Welch got in a little trouble with a couple of walks, but a pop-up to the shortstop. And then, Bo hit it hard, but right back to the pitcher who stuck his glove up and actually kind of caught it, but then he ran over and flipped it to the first baseman for the out. So, we got no score. We have a good game. Still looking for our first base hit. And we have Weig and Zoller and Cable. The bottom of the order coming up in the top of the third inning for the Tigers. No score. I'll be back on KDAO.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School Baseball. We knew this would be a good game, and we have not been disappointed. West Marshall had a nice opportunity with second and 1 out, and they stranded the runners because Peyton Welch got tough, pop up to the shortstop, and a line drive right back to him. So now, here we are in the top of the third inning. When you have good pitching and defense, games tend to go pretty quickly. It's going to be Weig, Zoller, Cable, if anybody gets on base, Spindler, and all Beckham DeSoto has done is set down 6 in a row. And the first pitch, here it is. Swing and a miss. Way outside. Weig batting 175. He does have 1 home run on the year. Again, Beckham set down 6 in a row. That's a strike call. So he's getting the outside corner. 0-2 is the count. Beckham has struck out 3. No base runners here so far for the Tigers. Usually pretty high-powered offense. And there's a swing and a miss. The catcher can't get it, but he's going to pick it up and throw it. But he's going to draw the runner off. He's going to draw the base runner off base. Okay, so it got away from the catcher. And, I mean, the way that Weig was running down to first base, I think the West Marshall catcher needed to do a sense of urgency there, and he just threw it wild. So that breaks the string of 6 in a row, and that's a mistake by West Marshall. It was a wide throw, first baseman. There's no way he's going to tag him out. Now here's Colby Zolar, as maybe this opens the door for South Hardin, their first base runner. And now Beckham has to pitch around a leadoff error. So like I said, walks and errors will really hurt you in the tournaments. So the leadoff batter is on. Breaks the string of 6 in a row set down by Beckham. And the next pitch to Colby Zolar. Going to show bunt. Good bunt. Beckham gets it and flips it for the out. He underhanded it for the out. Good bunt there by Colby Zolar. He did his job. A sacrifice to the pitcher. So now you have 2nd and 1 out. Now West Marshall has to bear down. You got the 9th place hitter, Clayton Cable, and then you go to the tough top of the order the second time around. So barring a double play, we'll see Spindler the second time around in the order. So West Marshall had runner at 2nd and 1 out. In the second, could not score. Here the Tigers are, 2nd and 1 out in their top of the 3rd. Swinging a chopper foul off the bat of Clayton Cable. Batting 200, the dangerous Spindler is in the on-deck circle. Beckham having to work around a leadoff error. That runner's at 2nd now with 1 out. Next pitch. Runner gets a pretty good lead. That just missed. Cable steps back in. Spindler, the on-deck hitter, as we approach the second time around in the order. A look back at the runner who gets a really nice lead. There's a strike called outside corner. And again, they're giving Beckham the outside corner of the plate. So Weig on its second base. 1-2 is the count. If you're West Marshall, you could use the strikeout. And here comes the next pitch. That just missed the outside corner. And a few of the West Marshall fans howl about that. They have given him the outside corner, but they didn't that time. 2-2 is the count on Clayton Cable. And the dangerous Spindler is in the on-deck circle. And the 2-2 is headed home with the runner at second base. After a long look back at the runner, and here it is. That hit the outside corner, so he missed the outside corner. Then he hit the outside corner, taking advantage of the fact that he's been given the outside corner. And that's 1-2. That's 4 strikeouts now. So now the second time around in the order, let's see what happens. You got Josh Spindler. This is who you want up at the plate. 520, 9 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. Now he grounded to the second baseman his first time up. Let's see what happens as the Trojans are an out away from getting out of this jam. But you got a really good hitter in Spindler up there. Second time around, he's seen Beckham. Runner's going to try to take third. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Second baseman gets it, charges, flips it, and he is going to be out by a step. Good job. Spindler makes even a routine play look very interesting. But again, a nice play by the second baseman for West Marshall, because Levi Jewell had to come in, get it, flip it, and Spindler's got great wheels, but a ground ball to the second baseman. So West Marshall cannot score when they were given the opportunity, 2nd and 1 out, and South Hardin, they were given the opportunity, 2nd and 1 out. But a good job by the pitcher and a good job by the defense. And now we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And for West Marshall, it'll be the 9th place hitter, D. Rossett. And then to the top of the order, good game, man. No score. I'll be back on KDAO.
At Hardin County Savings Bank, we have school spirit. Mascots are full of school spirit, and they're helping us give back to local schools. With every HCSB debit card swipe, you're helping fund school events and activities. Register today for HCSB Cash for schools programs and join us in making a difference. At Hardin County Savings Bank, we have school spirit.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball. We knew this would be a good game tonight between West Marshall and South Hardin. Has not disappointed. It was a year ago tonight that West Marshall beat South Hardin in this very same game in a district semifinal ball game at New Hampton. And 1 year later, we have no score. Nobody's had any base hits. It's going to be Turner DeRossett, and then to the top of the order with Evan Seeger and Hunter Polly. If anybody gets on base, Beckham DeSoto. Peyton Welch walked a couple of guys in the second inning, but he got out of it. The Tigers had an opportunity in the top of the third with a leadoff error, and they got out of trouble. So here's Turner DeRossett, and that missed. Turner batting .219 with 3 doubles. He has a home run and 17 runs batted in. DeRossett, Seeger, Polly, if anybody gets on base, DeSoto. And there's a shot to left field. Left fielder on the move, catches it. Dropped it. But that's going to be foul. That's a foul ball. He gave it a shot into left field. Left fielder caught it in foul territory, and then he dropped it. And so obviously that's just a foul ball. One and 0 is the count, so a long foul ball. And DeRossett with a 1-0, missed outside. Again, you got the top of the order for the second time around, waiting to bat next with Seeger and then Polly. Now, if anybody gets on base, DeSoto, and once again, if you're South Hardin, if you're anybody, you don't want to pitch to Beckham DeSoto with a bunch of people on base. Almost hit him, but instead it hit his bat. So better be lucky than good. Hit his bat, almost hit him, but he ducked. His bat was like above his head, and it hit the bat. So I thought it was a foul ball, but maybe I'm wrong. 2-1 is the count. See, it almost hit him, but his bat was up like where his head was supposed to be, and it hit the bat, and that's why we have a foul. Now that one got between the legs of the catcher, and then it got between the legs of the umpire. So the last two pitches, we've had some crazy things going on here. 3-1 is the count. So DeRossett, the ninth place hitter, trying to get on base, and he will. Like I said, that's the thing with Peyton. Sometimes he walks people. Now, he walked 2 in the second inning, but he got away with it. But you don't want to tempt fate too much. And a leadoff walk here, so the leadoff batter is actually on for the first time tonight for West Marshall. And now, now you got guys coming to the plate for the second time around in the order. You got their really good hitters. You got Evan Seeger batting .337 with 8 doubles and a home run and 19 runs batted in. He grounded to the shortstop his first time up. And the runner's going to go. He's got a tremendous jump. It was in the dirt. I mean, there was no way Bo was going to throw him out. I mean, DeRossett had a tremendous jump. He was halfway down. Man, to second base when that ball was being delivered. So, easy stolen base. So, playing a little small ball here, West Marshall. A base hit most likely would score DeRossett. Here's Evan Seeger. 1-0. Good to show bunt. Takes the outside corner. Probably not a bad idea by Evan Seeger. They weren't expecting that. Now, the first baseman does charge. So DeRossett, with a walk and a stolen base, bad things usually happen when you walk people. Now, Peyton walked 2 in the last inning, got out of it. And a look back at the runner. Next pitch, go to show bunt again. Got a good bunt there. And the first baseman throws it to the second baseman. Safe! I mean, it wasn't that the first baseman made a bad play. It's just that, really wasn't with a sense of urgency. And Seeger, with good speed, a bunt single, and now the Trojans, and you know dang well what Evan Seeger's going to do, because you got first and third now. So you know dang well what Seeger's going to try to do as DeRossett runs over to third base, and Seeger's on at first. And here's Hunter Polly. So West Marshall trying to manufacture some runs. If Seeger doesn't take off on the first pitch, I don't know. I'll fall out of this press box. Seeger takes his lead. He is going, so I don't have to worry about that. And the throw back to the pitcher. So another stolen base. I was worried I'd have to throw myself out of the press box. But fortunately for me, Seeger was running and he stole the base. So now we got second and third. Nobody out. You got great speed. A base hit most likely would score 2. What's Hunter Polly going to do? First pitch is a ground ball. And the first baseman catches it. And he gives it to the second baseman. And a good job by the first baseman, because he froze that runner at third base, okay? Usually when you ground the ball to the right side of the diamond, you can bring that runner home, but just a really, really good job by Preston Dolash. He came in and he held it because he knew he had time, held it, and he was able to freeze the runner at third base. Now you got to be now you got to be really careful with Beckham DeSoto. Now you got a base open. I really understand you don't really want to load the bases, but you make a mistake to Beckham, and that's not a good situation. Swinging, there's a ground ball deep in the hole, shortstop. That'll score the run. Long throw, and he's going to be safe. Drew him off the bag. Now, South Hardin is trying to make an argument that they tagged him, so right away we're going to have a conversation. Now the run scores. There's no doubt about that. So West Marshall gets a run. Now they're going to have a little conversation. So good job by Beckham. He grounded the ball deep in the hole, and the throw was off the base. Now the first baseman, Dolash, is saying that he tagged him, and they say no. So the South Hardin fans are not pleased with that. So Beckham DeSoto, he gets an infield. Maybe I'll give him a hit on that. But all I know, it's 1-0 West Marshall, and that happened because of a leadoff walk. Walks will kill you, man. This is Riley Hanford. And the South Hardin coach, he's not pleased because he agrees with his first baseman. I mean, he came off the base and swiped at Beckham, and both umpires said that he didn't touch him. So now in the meantime, as we had that conversation going on, Evan Siegert, he's at third base. And Beckham, at the South Hardin fans, they are not abused. So let's see if Beckham's going to do any running. Beckham's not slow, man. He's a big kid, but he's stolen a dozen bases. And West Marshall's already swiped 2 bases. And now here's Riley Hanford. Let's see what Beckham does. He's going to take off, and it's in the dirt. So just kind of at will. And now we're going to have a little conversation here. So the throw was in the dirt. And the South Hardin coach comes out. So this has been a frustrating inning for South Hardin. I mean, it all started with a walk. And, bad things happen when you walk people. So they walked DeRossett. And then Siegert laid down a beautiful bunt single. And then we had 2 stolen bases. And then Hunter Pauley grounded to the first baseman. And Dolash did a nice job of freezing that runner at third. But then Beckham DeSoto hit one deep into the hole, and the throw was a little off base. And South Hardin says that they tagged the runner, but the umpires disagreed. And by the way, West Marshall now leads this game by a score of 1-0. And then Beckham DeSoto stole the base. So that's a pretty long conference out there. I think the umpires are trying to break it up. I think South Hardin, they're still upset with that no call at first base. And so here is Riley Hanford. And I think we have a pitching change here. So the walks will hurt you, man. So this will be Weig. So Braden Weig will be the new pitcher. We'll step away. I'll be back right after this as the Tigers make a pitching change as they're in trouble here in the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Trojans. I'll be back after this on KDAO.
In Zeering, McCallsburg, St. Anthony, Clemens, and the surrounding rural areas, Minerva Valley Companies is your local provider for internet service, local and long-distance telephone, and digital video, all available from one local provider. At Minerva Valley, they offer fiber to the home, high-speed internet, telephone service, and digital video TV. You pick the programming package and Minerva Valley will give you great service. See why Minerva Valley should be your source for entertainment and internet. Log on to minervavalley.com. Minerva Valley Companies, providing voice, video, and data.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School Tournament Baseball on KDAO. Now the West Marshall boys, who 1 year ago tonight defeated this same team 3-0. They're on the board 1-0. West Marshall has scored a run with only one hit. There was an error. That hurt. But what really hurt was the leadoff walk. And so Welch gave him two innings. He did walk 3. Now he walked 2 in the second, got away with it. But the leadoff walk to DeRosset here in the third inning. And that was followed by a stolen base and then a beautiful bunt single by Evan Siegert. And that was followed by a stolen base. And then we had a ground ball to the first baseman. And South Hardin did a nice job of freezing that runner at third base so he couldn't score. But then came the controversial play to South Hardin when Beckham DeSoto grounded the ball sharply. And the shortstop threw wild. The first baseman, Dolash, thought that he swiped at Beckham. But that did not happen. And so now West Marshall looking to add some more to their leading margin as they have second and third and only one out. And the new pitcher is Braden Weig, 2-0 with a 3.39 ERA. So this is what West Marshall wanted to do. They knew that South Hardin had burned 2 pitchers last night, and they really wanted to get Walsh out of there and get into the bullpen. Okay, first pitch, missed upstairs. This is Riley Hanford batting .315. He's the fourth place hitter. He's a freshman catcher. And Riley tonight flied to the left fielder. Left fielder made a good play. You might remember that. Took away a double, maybe even a triple. Okay, got to try to get that runner home from third base if you are West Marshall. Next pitch, that's a strike called outside corner. Now, if you're South Hardin, you can use a strikeout or the pop-up or the ground ball to the pitcher or the ground ball to the third baseman or even a ground ball to the first baseman if everything goes right, because we've already seen that, where they had a ground ball to the first baseman, and he froze that runner at third. So 2-1 is the count on Riley Hanford. A base hit most likely would score 2 for West Marshall. They lead this thing by a score of 1-0. Next pitch, that missed outside. So, yeah, walks will kill you. 3 walks. The leadoff walk here hurt. South Hardin went through 2 pitchers last night, and West Marshall accomplishing their objective to try to get deep into their bullpen. Here comes the 3-1 from Weig. And he pops it up. A play for Weig, comes off the mound, backpedals, gets it for the out. That's exactly what they needed. They needed a pop-up. Now it's going to take a 2-out something from Drake Whitaker.
Next up for the Trojans, number 8, Drake Whitaker.
Drake Whitaker is the shortstop, and he walked his first time up. And Drake steps in. West Marshall at second and third and 1 out. Now there's 2 out. And they do lead 1-0. They'd like to get some more. There's a strike call. Weig's job is to keep the score right where it's at. Drake Whitaker with an 0-1. Runners on at second and third for West Marshall. Here comes the next pitch. Swing, and he pops it up. The right fielder comes in and makes the play. So it could have been worse. So a pop-up to the pitcher and a pop-up to the right fielder, so Weig comes in and puts out the fire. But the leadoff walk hurt. There was 1 base hit. West Marshall jumps ahead, 1-0. We played 3. West Marshall leads 1-0. The winner gets either AP or Grundy Center on Saturday night. I'll be back with the top of the 4th inning after this on KDAO.
Are you ready to make the most of your college experience? Look no further than Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls, Iowa. At Ellsworth, we offer a world of possibilities with 55 different academic programs to choose from. We also offer 8 NJCAA athletic programs and 2 club programs so you can get involved in the sport you love and be part of a winning team. Ellsworth Community College is where you can experience a 4-year education in just 2 years. Ready to take the first step? Visit us online at ellsworthcollege.com for more information or give us a call at 641-648-4611. Experience Ellsworth today.
A wound that won't heal can slow your life down. But you don't have to face it alone. At Hanson Family Hospital's Wound Care Center, our specialized team of skilled clinicians provides the medical expertise needed to support the body's healing process, limit health complications, and speed up recovery time for non-healing wounds. With personalized treatment plans and compassionate care, we're focused on helping you heal and get back to what matters most. Call 641-323-2060 to schedule an appointment in Iowa Falls. Hanson Family Hospital is healthcare you can count on.
J&T Plumbing and Heating in Hubbard has served Hardin, Hamilton, and Story counties for over 40 years. With that kind of experience, J&T has the knowledge, technology, and equipment to fix any problem you have and fix it right the first time. Plus, they do it at an affordable price. J&T's professional staff's priority is outstanding service and taking care of their customers' home. That's why the next time you have a need for plumbing, heating, or drain and sewer services, one call does it all. J&T Plumbing and Heating in Hubbard. Online at jntplumbing.com. Is owned and operated by Wink Services.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School Baseball on KDAO. Well, the West Marshall boys lead 1-0. Only one base hit here. As the walks hurt, they scored a run in the top of the third. Here we are. In the bottom of the third. Here we are in the top of the fourth, and Peyton Welch will lead it off for the Tigers. It's 2-3-4 against Beckham DeSoto, who's been very good tonight. And there's a little chopper foul down the third base line. Beckham set down 6 in a row. Had to pitch around a leadoff error in the third. And then he set down 3 more in a row. Now deals with Peyton Welch. And the Tigers are down 1-0. Last night, after one inning, they were up 9-0. But they did go through 2 pitchers, and they've already went through a pitcher tonight. So I always keep stressing that. That's huge. And for West Marshall, they would like to try to get as much as they can and not go too deep into their bullpen in regards to DeSoto. Swinging, there's a ground ball to the shortstop. He gets it on 2 hops. He unloads, and that's going to be okay. Now, the Tiger fans are not pleased because on that play, the throw was high, and the first baseman came down, swiped at him, and tagged him out. And you might remember in that last inning, the same thing happened to South Hardin, only they allowed West Marshall to be on base. So I had one eye on first base, and then I had another eye on the Tiger fans, and so they're not pleased. But it was a good play by the shortstop and then a good play by your first baseman for West Marshall to swipe, and Blake Hart has made several good plays tonight. So, ground ball to the shortstop. Here's Casey Williamson. 1 out here in the 4th inning. I knew the Tiger fans would not like that after what happened to them in the last inning. Swinging, there's a line drive, and that goes into right field for a base hit. So, Casey hit it on the nose. There's the tying run. That's the first base hit of the ball game for South Hardin. The hits are even at 1 apiece. So here's Garrett Anderson. Garrett batting .292 with 6 doubles and a home run. Garrett grounded to the first baseman his first time up. And again, this is the second time around in the order against Beckham DeSoto, who really hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. He threw a couple of extra in that 3rd inning with the error. So let's see if they do any running. Takes a pretty good lead off first base. Beckham throws over to first base. Not in time. This is Garrett Anderson batting .292. Garrett grounded to the first baseman his first time up. The AP boys are here. The Grundy Center boys are here. They'll play the second game tonight. Okay, here is the next delivery, and the runner off first has to dive back. Blake Hart has made several good plays at first base for West Marshall. West Marshall trying to pitch around a one out single that has the base runner on at first, and that's the tying run. Next pitch. Swinging, there's a fly ball. This time the right fielder goes back and catches it. He caught it, and then he almost dropped it. So that gave the West Marshall fans some heart palpitations. He caught it, and then he almost dropped the thing. But all's well that ends well if you're West Marshall. And Bo got the job done, so I'll pop up to the right fielder. And you got a good hitter here in Preston Dolash. Preston, it's the first baseman batting .395. You make a mistake with him, and South Hardin will take the lead because he's batting .395, and he's got 5 home runs, man. So the tying run is on. Ground ball, base hit in the left field. So the go-ahead run is on at first base. He just guided it through the left side of the diamond, so a single for Preston Dolash. Here's Bo Carpenter. Bo grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. So the second time around in the order, Tigers are putting the ball in play. They struck out 4 times in the first 2 innings, but now they're doing a good job putting the ball in play. And here's Bo Carpenter in the top of the 4th. West Marshall still with their 1-0 lead. But you got Casey Williamson on at second, and Dolash is the trailer at first. And first pitch, there's a wild pitch. It gets away. That'll move them up. So wild pitch. And we got second and third. And 2 out. So now a base hit most likely would score 2. So Carpenter looking for the all-important 2-out RBI base hit. No, just move the base runners up. So the wild pitch moves the base runners up. Now a base hit most likely would score 2. Ump calls time. Carpenter steps out. Carpenter steps back in. Williamson on at third. Dolash carries the go-ahead run at second. Here comes the next pitch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. He's going to have to hurry his throw. He is going to be out. Good play. Another good play by the shortstop, Whitaker. I mean, again, he couldn't charge the thing. He had to wait for it to come to him, and then he unloaded and got Carpenter by a step and a half. So they had a great opportunity. They had second and third and 1 out. DeSoto got tough. The defense showed up, and now we go to the bottom of the 4th. And for West Marshall, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Christensen, Hart, Benson. Got a good game. Got a great crowd. West Marshall leads this thing 1-0. I will be back after this.
For your commercial or agricultural projects, trust D&B Agrosystems of Hubbard. D&B Agrosystems is a turnkey operation for commercial and on-the-farm solutions. At D&B, they offer grain storage, handling, and dry systems for all sizes of operation. For more than 40 years, D&B has built a name of consistently delivering quality products and prompt, reliable service at competitive prices. For complete details on what D&B Agrosystems of Hubbard can do for your operation, visit dnbsystems.com.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Tournament Baseball on KDAO. The winner tonight gets either AP or Grundy Center on Saturday night at 7 p.m. And then from there, you still got a sub-state championship game to play on the 14th. So we knew this would be a good game. It's a rematch of last year's district semifinal game, which was won by West Marshall by a score of 3-0. Tomorrow night, it's all about girls softball. I know I'm going to be doing a little West Marshall girls softball at home against Belmont Clemmy. Now, remember, Andy Jennings' game, his game, the East Marshall girls softball game, that's actually been bumped up to time to 6 p.m. And then I'm pretty sure that Austin's going to go do the Grundy Center girls in Denver at Denver. So that's what we got going on softball-wise tomorrow night. And then maybe some more softball on Friday night. And maybe some more baseball on Saturday. The only thing I know for sure is I'm going to stream the Grundy Felix Festival Parade on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. It won't be the same because Andrew Sternhagen won't be there in a tractor. Sometimes I expect too much out of Andrew. Here we go, bottom of the 4th. Good game. Second pitcher, of course, in there. In Weig, as he relieved Welch. And it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Carver Christensen, Blake Hart, Bo Benson, if anybody gets on base. Turner, DeRosset. West Marshall with a 1-0 lead. They've been out hit, though, 2-1. And there's a strike call. But the thing is, are just some freebies, okay? You had the 3 walks. And then you had the error at first base, and freebies are really going to hurt you in the tournament time. 0-1 is the count. There's a strike call. Carver batting .260. Now, if South Hardin had their way about it, they set the side down in order 1-2-3, had the nice place hitter DeRosset lead off the 5th inning. So we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. West Marshall picked up a run there, took advantage of 2 walks. Oh, I'm sorry, a walk and a bunt single. And then, of course, there was that wacky play at first base where the South Hardin first baseman apparently did not touch DeSoto on the swipe. Okay, here comes the 0-2. West Marshall has only struck out twice and none since that first inning. So they've done a good job putting the ball in play. They struck out 2 times in the first inning, But since then, they've been putting the ball in play, and they do lead this game by a score of 1-0. 1-2 is the count. Next pitch to Carver. Swinging, there's a ground ball. That's going to be a base hit past the shortstop. And that's the second base hit. Hits are even at 2 apiece. The leadoff batter is on for the second time tonight for West Marshall. And Carver is at first base for now. They may have a courtesy runner for Carver. So, little ground ball single past the shortstop. And Xavier Jewell will run. So Xavier Jewell will run. Now, West Marshall's already stolen 3 bases. And you got Blake Hart up there. Blake batting $150, and he popped up to the shortstop his first time up. Are they going to try to steal a base? Are they going to try to bunt? Or something in between? Xavier Jewell takes his lead. They've already stolen 3 bases. And he is not going. There's a swing and a miss. So Hart was not thinking about bunting. Blake has done a good job defensively at first base tonight. Offensively, he's popped up to the shortstop. So Xavier Jewell is the runner. And Xavier, not going, showed bunt in the dirt. Snap throw down to first base. Not in time. So Christensen with a leadoff single. Xavier Jewell is the runner. West Marshall trying to pump a little air into their leading margin, which is only 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Weig, the second pitcher tonight for South Hardin, throws over. Jewell dives back. Christensen with the single. Xavier Jewell running for him. Got a great crowd on hand tonight. A lot of AP and a lot of Grundy Center fans are here a little bit early. And people enjoying a lot of freeze pops, you know. Good bunt. That's going to be tough. Pitcher gets it and he fumbles it, and that's going to be a hit. Or basically, well, you just got to give him an error. That was a good bunt first off by Blake Hart. And the pitcher, Weig bounced off the mound. He bounced off the mound, and he caught it. He fielded it, and then he just dropped it. And so, you hate to do that, but you got to give an error on that. It was a really good bunt by Blake Hart first off. So it was a really good bunt by Blake Hart. And the pitcher, he got it. And, it might have been the perspiration. He got it, and he picked it up to throw, and then he just dropped it. So now you got a single and an error. And the door is open now for West Marshall. Here's Bo Benson. He may be trying to bunt those runners over. I don't know that for sure. Now South Hardin in trouble. And he does show bunt. And the first baseman charges big time. A long look back at the runner. Missed upstairs. So White came on in relief of Peyton Welch. And a single and a little error here has got South Hardin in some trouble. 1-0 is the count. 1-0 is the count. Next pitch. He's going to show bunt. Bunts it foul. For the most part, West Marshall's done a really good job of their bunting. Just playing a little small ball. The hits are even at 2 apiece. Bottom of the 4th inning. Carver Christensen with the single. Xavier Jewell is out there at second base. And then Blake Hart, who reached on the air, is the trailer at first base. And here's Bo Benson. Bo batting 200, the right fielder. He has a 1-1. Is he going to try to bunt the ball again? Really want to try to get those runners over if you're West Marshall. And after a long look back, he's going to show bunt. High. So you don't want to be walking Benson. You got DeRossett in the on-deck circle, and then you got a dangerous top of the order here. West Marshall leads this thing by a score of 1-0. They've already gotten into the bullpen of South Hardin. That was their one objective. And they lead 1-0 with a chance to get some more. So 2-1 is the count. Going to show bunt. That's in the dirt. So West Marshall has already been given 3 walks tonight. And South Hardin has committed a couple of errors. A single and an error here. And this is Bo Benson. So 3-1 is the count. Maybe he may take a pitch. I don't know. The last 2 have missed badly. We'll look back again at the runner. Now he comes to the hitter. Going to show bunt. That missed way outside. The last 3 were not even close. And now South Hardin's got some trouble. They have the bases loaded. And 1 out. And Coach White takes a long walk. And And I don't know, we may have another pitching change. So, like I said, coming into this game, last night, they got off to a 9-0 lead, but kind of had to hold on a little bit. 18-7 was the final score, and they went through a couple of pitchers. So South Hardin, and they have good pitching depth, man, but South Hardin was already, going to be challenged with their pitching because they went into their bullpen last night, and Welch, he started, and he walked 2 and had to be relieved by Weig. So they're not going to make a pitching change. And then in this inning, we have a single and an error and a walk. So now you've got a problem. You've got bases loaded and nobody out, and you've got Turner DeRossett at the plate for West Marshall, and then you go to the top of the order with Siegert and Hunter Pauley and DeSoto. Okay, so Tigers need a strikeout or a pop-up or a ground ball back to the pitcher. They need something. They need a bunch of stuff. Here's the first pitch. That missed upstairs. The last 3, unfortunately for the Tigers, have been nowhere near the strike zone. And as we said, freebies, whether they're walks or errors, and the Tigers have done a little bit of both of those things. That just kills you in these tournament games. Okay, 1-0 is the count, and there's no place to put it, man. Next pitch to DeRossett. Swing and a miss. Again, if you're South Hardin, you could use the pop-up or the strikeout. Ground ball back to the pitcher would do. Ground ball to the third baseman to freeze the runner at third would do. And if you're West Marshall, there's no way you want to leave these runners on base, So the 1-1 to the 9th place hitter, DeRossett, is on the way. Shows bunt, missed upstairs. Don't know if the squeeze was on. We assume it was, but we'll never know because that thing was way upstairs. And again, there's no place to put DeRossett. And if you lose him, then you've got some problems because you've got Siegert, Pauley, and DeSoto, the heavy hitters in the top of the order coming up as West Marshall is looking to try to break this thing open here in the 4th inning. A single, an error, and a walk. 2-1 is the count on DeRossett. No place to put him. Next pitch. Swing, and there's a shot. Foul. Good play by Coach Brown at third base. Hard hit. Foul ball, 2-2 is the count. Tigers could really use the strikeout here. DeRossett has a walk and a stolen base. Just wants to put the ball in play somewhere. 2-2 is the count. Next pitch. That just missed outside. Borderline pitch. South Hardin doesn't like it, but that's what happened. So you got 3-2. DeRossett trying to get on base. Weig striving for the strikeout here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Got nobody out. Bases loaded. Here comes the 3-2. It's headed home. Swinging a foul, straight back, will do it again. So a good at bat here. Again, just trying to make the pitcher throw pitches. South Hardin is already on their second pitcher. They burned 2 last night. So 3-2 is the count. And in the meantime, DeSoto's went all the way for West Marshall. Okay, 3-2 to DeRossett. Turner batting .319. Missed outside, ball 4, walk. Walks will kill you, man. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 walks. There's another run for West Marshall. And they're not done yet because now you got the heavy hitters up here, and this is Evan Siegert. There's no place to put Evan. A base hit would score 2. He's grounded to the shortstop. And then he had a bunt single. You know what? With West Marshall, wouldn't be surprised to see him roll out the squeeze play. Let's see what Evan does. He's a good bunter. He's going to swing away. Strike called. Well, it was a 3-2 delivery. And it was clearly ball 4, so there was nothing controversial about that. So DeRossett, good job with the bottom of the order for West Marshall getting it done. Walk and an RBI. And here now you got the top of the order up there. And there's still nobody out and the bases are loaded. Next pitch to Siegert. High. See, this is exactly what West Marshall wanted to do. They wanted to get in the bullpen, and this is exactly what South Hardin didn't want to do. They didn't want to walk anybody. There's only been 2 base hits for both teams, but West Marshall has been given 4 walks, and plus there's been 2 errors, man. So some freebies are hurting South Hardin. White steps off the mound. Evan Siegert, just a great senior, batting .337. Next pitch. Hit him. And now it's 3-0. And Coach White comes out. That may be it for the pitcher. So a lot of what we call a lot of freebies. So we've had 2 base hits, but more importantly, 2, 3. There's been 5 walks, and now a hit batsman brings in a run, and now Weig is done. So this is exactly what West Marshall wanted to do. They wanted to get into the bullpen because they knew coming into this game, South Hardin had already used up 2 pitchers last night. And so they already got into the bullpen by getting Welch out of the game. And the umpires are trying to hurry it up a little bit. So it looks like another pitching change is being made. So they went through, this is our 3rd pitcher. This is Garrett Anderson. It's exactly what West Marshall wanted to have happen. And he'll take his warm-up tosses. We'll step away. West Marshall still has the bases loaded and nobody out. And they now lead this thing by a score of 3-0. I'll be back after this.
From their meat counter to the produce section to the bakery, your Eldora Hy-Vee store offers you the best selection of high-quality grocery items. You'll find everything you need for your family, and you'll save money too. Check out the Eldora Hy-Vee store's weekly specials and fuel saver items that save you money not only at the checkout counter, but at the gas pump as well. And if you're hungry, well, there's always something good cooking in the deli at your Eldora Hy-Vee store, where there's large town variety and small town friendliness.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball on KDAO. West Marshall looking to have a big inning here. In the bottom of the 4th, it was 1-0. They scored 2. Carver Christensen with a leadoff single. That was followed by an error, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. Things that I don't think South Hardin usually does, but it's happening tonight. And they're going to bring in their 3rd pitcher. So they went through 2 last night. This is the 3rd one, Garrett Anderson. He's 3-2 with a 3.00 ERA. And he inherits a little situation here in the bottom of the 4th. And in the meantime, Beckham DeSoto, the pitcher, has had a nice long rest. And Beckham may be on a pitch count anyway, because, if you're West Marshall, even if you don't want to admit it, if you're West Marshall now, you have a 3-0 lead. And now and especially if you get a couple more, then you got to start thinking about what's going on Saturday night. And they have all their pitchers at their disposal. They still got, Seigert, and you got Polly, you got Carver Christensen, so they still have all their pitchers at their disposal. But again, even if you don't want to admit it, you got to start thinking about what lies ahead on Saturday night against either Grundy Center or AP. I know this game's not over yet, but I'm just telling you that's what coaches are thinking. So this is Garrett Anderson. And this is Hunter Polly. And, oh, by the way, the bases are still loaded and there's still nobody out. Hunter has struck out, and he's grounded out to the first baseman. So Garrett Anderson's job is to keep the score right where it's at. And there's a pop-up that may bring the run home. Pretty shallow. Play is made by the center fielder, and they cannot advance the base runner. So he popped it up to shallow center. That's a good start for Garrett Anderson. But now, you know what every single West Marshall fan is thinking right now. You got Beckham DeSoto. There's no place to put him. Beckham batting .445, 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in. You know what every West Marshall fan is thinking. Beckham has lined out, and he has a strikeout, and there's no place to put this guy. First pitch. There's a strike call. Garrett Anderson could really use the strikeout or the pop-up against this dangerous hitter. Beckham stands in. Again, there's no place to put him. You make a mistake on him, and this game kind of gets out of control. 0-1 is the count on Beckham. Next pitch. That missed in the dirt. A single, an error, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. 1-1 is the count. Swing, and there's a ball that's going to plug the gap. It's going to go to the fence. It's going to score at least 2. It may clear the bases. It will clear the bases. Beckham DeSoto has done it with a 3-run double. I mean, he laced it, and you could just tell when that thing left the bat, it was going to go to the fence, and in this big ballpark, it rolled and rolled and rolled, and 3 runs crossed the plate. So Beckham does it again. That is exactly what West Marshall wanted to have happen. They had their main hitter up there, and he has a bases-clearing double. And it is now 6-0. And he's going to take a little break, so he hits a bases-loaded double. That breaks things open. And here comes Garrett Bear to run for him. So Beckham does his job on offense, and we'll see how long they want to, especially with the score being 6-0, we'll see how long they want him to go. Maybe they'll get a complete game out of him, and then they still have all their pitchers ready for Saturday night. Okay, there's a strike call. So now Garrett Bear is out at second, and this is Riley Hanford. So Beckham, you could just tell when that ball left the bat, it was going to plug the gap and roll to the fence in this big ballpark. There's a strike call, and now it's 6-0 on KDAO in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Beckham, they had the guy out there, and I don't think they made a mistake on him. He just found the pitch, and he hit it, and it rolled, and you got a 3-run double, and it's 6-0 now West Marshall, and there's still only 1 out, and Garrett Bear is at second base. And the 0-2 is headed home. Swing, and there's a ground ball base hit up the middle. They're going to try to send Barrett. And here comes Barrett. Here comes the throw. He'll be safe. There goes the runner to second. He's safe. It's 7-0. Woo! So an RBI single. Now that makes the score 7-0. There was a little base hit up the middle. Center fielder came in. Garrett Bear got a late charge on the thing, but he was still able to score. And now here's Drake Whitaker. And we're still only in the bottom of the 4th inning. A single, an error. 2 walks, a hit batsman. And then Beckham DeSoto smashed a bases-clearing double. And that thing just rolled and 3 runs scored, and there you go. Then Riley Hanford with an RBI single. Now here's Drake Whitaker. And there's still only 1 out, and it's 7-0. What an inning for West Marshall. Strike call. They had a 1-0 lead after 3. Now here in the 4th, it's 7-0. And we'll see if Beckham's going to be on a pitch count or not. So West Marshall in a really good spot, both for right now and then for Saturday night. Hot smash back to the pitcher, out at first base. I know it's not over yet, but nowadays, as a coach, you got to be thinking about what lies ahead and how you're going to handle that. And I think especially after Beckham's bases loaded double, I think they're really thinking about that. But South Hardin, they still got time, and they're a good offensive team. Okay, courtesy runner is going to be Max Buck. So Buck will run at third. So there's 2 out. And this is Carver Christensen. Carver is a designated hitter. Carver started this thing with a single man, so we're batting around the order. Here in the 4th. Missed outside. So West Marshall did exactly what they wanted to do. They got into the bullpen. And South Hardin has went through 3 pitchers after they went through 2 last night. And Carver Christensen, who started this inning with a single, is now batting. And he has a 1-0 count on him. And that is a strike called inside corner. So the Tigers, they have some work to do as they're down to their last 9 outs. Here comes the 1-1. There's a strike call. And like I said, one of the big things here, I think, they started this game out and they struck out 2 times in the first inning. Then they haven't struck out since. So that's been big. And, of course, Beckham DeSoto's bases loaded double. That was a highlight, man. That was just a perfect double. Here comes the 1-2. And there's a ball that's going to be hit to the center fielder for the out. So line out to the center fielder. The inning is finally done, but a lot of damage has been done. 6-run score. Carver's leadoff single, and then there was an error, and then the freebie started coming with a walk and a hit batsman, and then Beckham DeSoto with a bases clearing double. And then you can't forget about Riley Hanford, with an RBI single. So it's 7-0. Beckham goes back to the mound, and he's now got a 7-0 lead. I'll be back after this as we go to the 5th on KDAO.
My family grew up with Central State Bank. From my first savings account to our first mortgage, growing a business, and planning for retirement. They've been with us through it all. And just like family, they call you by name. Discover what Central State Bank can do for you.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball, Tournament Baseball. Well, one year ago tonight, in this same game, West Marshall got the victory of 3-0. They just broke things open in the 4th inning with 6 runs, 3 on Beckham DeSoto, the pitcher. His bases loaded double. And West Marshall now has 4 base hits, but they've also been helped. There's been 3 errors, and there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks, and a hits batsman. So again, we'll see how long they want to throw DeSoto. I mean, West Marshall's in a good spot. I mean, unless something goes horribly wrong, and South Hardin is definitely capable of scoring runs, they still got all their pitchers available for Saturday night. So maybe they're going to try to get as much as they can out of Beckham. For the Tigers in the bottom of the 5th inning, they need some base runners, man. Weig, Zoller, and Cable. If anybody gets on base, the top of the order. And Beckham DeSoto, he's thrown a 2-hitter, and there's a swing and a miss. He's been ahead of a lot of the hitters, and he has struck out 4. West Marshall, with one exception, playing good defense behind him. Swinging, there's a ground ball past the shortstop, so that's a start. So a 7-run lead, and the leadoff batter is on. So Weig, that's a good start. And here is Colby Zoller. He bunted back to the pitcher his first time up. First pitch is a strike called outside corner. For South Hardin, that's only their second base hit. Swinging a foul straight back. I think, South Hardin's best opportunity was 2nd and 1 out in the 3rd and could not score. Then they had a 2-out single in the 4th and couldn't do anything with it. Now a leadoff single here. Weig runs the bases. 7-0 West Marshall. And next pitch, here it is. Swing, and he goes the opposite way and fouls it. West Marshall has won 3 in a row. South Hardin has won 9 in a row. But they're in trouble here, down 7-0 here in the 5th, after the Trojans put up a 6 spot in the 4th. 0-2 is the count. He overthrew that one, and it went low. One and 2 is the count. Here's the 1-2 from Beckham. That just missed the outside corner. West Marshall fans don't like that. They've been giving the outside corner to Beckham, but must have been a little too far outside. Now, South Hardin actually has done a good job. They've only struck out 3 times tonight, 4 times actually. So here comes the 2-2. White takes his lead. Beckham focuses on the hitter. And that's going to be a wild pitch, and that gets away. So the wild pitch. So this is not what West Marshall wanted to have happen. I mean, they still have a 7-0 lead, but they start off the 5th inning with a base hit and a wild pitch. And 3-2 is the count on Colby Zolar. So the 3-2 with a runner now on at second base. So a single and a wild pitch. Here comes the 3-2. There's a little ground ball. Tough play. Pitcher gets it, throws it out. Good play. Good play. Beckham bounced off the mound. The second baseman, there was no way he was going to get to that man. And the pitcher made a great play, bounced off the mound, got it, flipped it out. Ground ball to the pitcher. Here's Clayton Cable. Clayton batting .200. He struck out his first time up. The runner does go to third base. So you got third and one out as South Hardin tries to dig in on the lead here a little bit. Swinging a pop fly foul. We'll do it again. West Marshall girls softball team, they're practicing. They go to Denver tomorrow night. I believe Austin will do that game on KDAO.com. And Andy's got an East Marshall game. Remember that East Marshall game, that starts at 6, And then my game will be the West Marshall girls at 7 o'clock. At this point in time, 7. Next pitch, that hit the outside corner. The West Marshall girls play Belmont Clemmy. And then we may return to baseball on Saturday night. Got a great crowd here. Of course, a bunch of Grundy Center and AP fans have already showed up. That's the second game. So here's the 0-2, and it's on its way to Clayton Cable. And that just missed outside. You got Spindler, who they've been very fortunate to control him, the leadoff batter in the on-deck circle. 1-2 is the count on Clayton Cable. And here's the next pitch. Swinging a chopper to the second baseman. That'll score the run, but they get the out. So South Hardin gets the run, but I think all West Marshall really cared about was making a clean play. So the run scores. So that's the start for South Hardin. And here's Spindler. Now Spindler is the table setter, and they've done a really good job on him. I mean, every time he makes contact, it's an adventure. And he's grounded out to the second baseman twice, and both times they've been bang-bang plays, man. So now the bases are clear. It's 7-1, and there's a strike call for West Marshall in the bottom of the fifth. It will be the bottom three, Hart, Benson, and DeRosset. Swinging a ground ball. Beckham knocks it down, throws him out. And another good play by the first baseman, Hart, who skied to get the ball. A hot smash. Beckham knocked it down. He lost track of it temporarily, but then he picked it up, and they got the out. So South Hardin does pick up a run. That closes the gap to 7-1. It'll be the bottom three for West Marshall in the bottom of the fifth inning, and West Marshall has the lead here, trying to advance and play somebody back here on Saturday night. It's 7-1. I'll be back after this.
Hi, this is Chris from Partner Communications. Did you know we now offer electrical services? Whether you're looking to change out a few lights within the home or wiring a whole new house, Partner can get it done. Master electrician Jeff Campbell will come to your home and provide you with a free estimate. Residential, agricultural, or commercial, let our courteous professional technicians complete your electrical projects. Call our office today, 641-498-7701.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball, Tournament Baseball on KDAO. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. South Hardin's just picked up their first run of the night in the fifth. West Marshall, in the meantime, scored a run in the third, and then they put up 6 in the fourth, 3 on Declan DeSoto's bases loaded double. And it'll be the bottom three for West Marshall: Blake Hart, Bo Benson, Turner, DeRosset, if anybody gets on base, Evan Siegert. And the third pitcher of the night, Garrett Anderson. So they went through 2 last night and now 3 tonight. So West Marshall doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting in the bullpen, and then they're getting a lot of innings out of DeSoto, and they lead by a score of 7-1. So here's Blake Hart. Blake he's really sparkled defensively, and then offensively he's popped up to the shortstop, and then he reached on an error in that fourth inning. He scored a run, and the first delivery is a strike call. And the third pitcher, Garrett Anderson, his job is to keep the score right where it's at as the ball gets away. As South Hardin is now down to their last 6 outs. And again, we'll see. Maybe they'll throw Beckham for the whole game, and if they do, then they're in great shape to face somebody on Saturday night because they still got Siegert and Pauly and Christensen and DeRosset. So both these teams have good pitching depth. And the problem was for South Hardin, even though they won last night, they did have to use 2 pitchers, and now they've used 3 tonight. West Marshall's out-hit them by a count of 4-2. And, oh, by the way, 2-1 is the count on the leadoff batter. Swing and a miss, nice change. Hart, Benson, DeRosset, if anybody gets on base, Siegert. If you're the Tigers, you just soon not see Siegert and the top of the order until the 6th inning. So the 2-2 headed home. Swing and a pop-up, play for no one. Big crowd looking on. A lot of Grundy Center people here, a lot of AP people here, because the Falcons and the Spartans will play the second game, and then whoever wins this game will get that winner on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So the 2-2 to Hart is on the way. Just missed the outside corner. South Hardin fans howl a little bit about that. West Marshall's out hit South Hardin 4-2. South Hardin's also made 3 errors. They've hit a batter, and I think they've walked 4. So some freebies to West Marshall. There's a strike 3 called. That's actually the first strikeout. Since the first inning. So West Marshall struck out 2 times in the first, and then here in the 5th, and in between they've had a bunch of base runners, and they managed to score 7 runs. Okay, so we're going to have Braxton Toyne. So Braxton will be the pinch hitter. So 22, Braxton Toyne steps in. He's a junior. He takes a strike call. Garrett Anderson, the 3rd pitcher tonight for South Hardin. The 0-1, swinging a little pop fly foul down the 3rd base line. Braxton Toyne steps out. We have 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. West Marshall had the 1-0 lead in the 4th. Then they ruled out 6 runs, 3 on Beckon DeSoto's bases loaded double. 0-2 is the count. West Marshall trying to beat South Hardin for the 2nd year in a row in this district semifinal baseball game. Here comes the 0-2. That missed outside. Tigers had a 1-2-3 inning against West Marshall in the 1st, and then a bunch of base runners for West Marshall since then, and a bunch of runs. They lead 7-1. That again missed the outside corner. And the South Hardin fans are not abused. So Toyne batting 168, steps back in from the left side with 1 out. And the 2-2. Instead, Toyne steps out. So we have 1 out here in the 5th. West Marshall has out-hit this team 4-2. They've also been given some freebies too. Walks, hit batsmen, and 3 Tiger errors. Next pitch. Swinging a low ground ball right back to the pitcher who gets it, flips it, out. After that 4th inning, and of course South Hardin did score a run in the 5th, they could use a nice calm 1-2-3 inning. And again, they don't want to deal with Siegert in the top of the order until the 6th inning. Here's Turner DeRosset. Now Turner tonight has walked, stolen a base, scored a run. That was in the 3rd inning. And he also walked with the bases loaded and got a run in on the 4th inning. So he's been on base twice, and he fouls it back to the screen. So South Hardin will have the right guys up there in the 6th inning. So DeSoto, whoever the pitcher is going to have to go through the heart of the order to get this win. Here comes the 0-1. Hit him. That's a 2nd hit batsman. So again, they've had some freebies tonight. That's a 2nd hit batsman to go along with their 4 walks and 3 errors. With their 4 hits and 3 errors. And then the walks, 2 have also hurt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks given to West Marshall to go along with their 4 base hits, and now there have been 2 hit batsmen and 3 errors. So Turner gets plunked. And now you got the tough top of the order with Evan Siegert. Missed upstairs. We have 2 out. Polly in the on-deck circle. And runner dances off first base. They've already stolen 3 bases. That hit him. So there's another hit batsman. And now, here comes Hunter Polly. So 2 hit batsmen. Hunter Polly. Hunter has struck out tonight. And he's grounded to the first baseman. He's popped up to the center fielder. So Hunter steps in. Great golfer. Good baseball player, too. And that hit him. Okay, now, you know exactly what every single West Marshall baseball fan is thinking. The score is 7-1. The bases are loaded. And here comes Beckham DeSoto. You know exactly what every single West Marshall fan is thinking, because a grand slam would win this thing. And for the second inning in a row, you've got no place to put Beckham DeSoto. Now, he came through with a bases-loaded double the last time up, but now he has a chance to win this game. And what in the world do you do with him? Because a grand slam would win this thing in the bottom of the 5th inning. Beckham has a bases-loaded double, and he struck out, and he's lined out to the left fielder. So I have no idea what the heck you're supposed to do with Beckham. A grand slam would win it. Last time up, he had a bases-loaded double, and you know what every single West Marshall fan is thinking right now. Okay, so Garrett Anderson, he delivers the first delivery. He takes a home run swing, but it's going to be popped up to the second baseman. So he took a home run swing, good pitch, man, popped it up to the second baseman, and they dodge a serious bullet right there, because a grand slam would have won it, but we play on, and now we go to the 6th inning, and the Tigers are down to their last 6 outs. They got some good hitters up there. It's going to be Welch, Williamson, and Anderson, and we'll see if Beckham comes back out to try to finish this off. We are in the 6th. A grand slam would have won it, but a pop-up to the second baseman. Let's go to the 6th. West Marshall's got the lead, 7-1, and I'll be back after this.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School baseball on KTAO for the 2nd year in a row. These two teams matching up, not in Grundy Center. Last year was in Hampton, New Hampton, and West Marshall won the thing by a score of 3-0. And 1 year later here in Grundy Center, in this 2A district semifinal baseball game, West Marshall scored a run in the 3rd inning. Then they rolled out 6 in the 4th. South Hardin answered with 1. And, oh, by the way, Beckham DeSoto is back on the mound, so maybe they'll just try to have him finish it out. And, I mean, you know, the Tigers have given some freebies in regards to hit batsmen, 3 hit batsmen. Actually, 4 hit batsmen. And 3 errors and 4 walks. 5 walks, excuse me. So West Marshall may have only had 4 base hits, but they've also been helped out a little bit by South Hardin. So Here we go in the sixth inning. It'll be Welch, Williamson, and Anderson. They need a bunch of base runners here in this sixth inning. And there's a pop fly foul backing out of play. AP will take on Grundy Center in the next game. And then the winners will meet here on Saturday night. The 0-2 is on the way. He did not go. The all-important leadoff batter. Now, South Hardin has had the leadoff batter on 2 times tonight. They're down by a score of 7-1 to West Marshall. Swing, and there's a base hit into center field. So, second time, third time around in the order, they're getting on Beckham a little bit. So a single. The leadoff batter is on for the third time. Here's Casey Williamson. Casey batting .367 here in the sixth inning. Casey is struck out. And he's popped out. And Casey steps back in. Actually, I stand corrected. It was a base hit tonight. So 1-0 is the count with a runner on at first base and nobody out. There's a swing and a miss. DeSoto's done a good job not giving up any freebies. He struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, but he hasn't walked anybody. And then I think West Marshall has made 1 error, but it hasn't hurt them. South Hardin, on the other hand, has made 4 errors. That missed upstairs. Now, DeSoto doesn't want to start to be walking people when he's got a 6-run lead, and who knows how long of a leash that he still has in this game. West Marshall with good pitching depth, so 2-1 is the count. And the next delivery to Casey Williams is a swing and a pop fly foul. South Hardin hasn't had a strikeout since the third, so we're here in the sixth. They've done a better job of putting the ball in play. Against Beck and DeSoto, who's went all the way. South Hardin has went through 3 pitchers tonight after they went through 2 last night. Okay, the 2-2, here it is. He overthrew that one. That's a wild pitch, and the runner goes down to second. So wild pitch. Now you got a runner at second, and nobody out. And 3-2 is the count. And I suspect if he loses this hitter, Coach Brown may come out to at least have a chat, but I don't know that for sure. So the leadoff batter is on for the second inning in a row and the third in this game. And the 3-2 to Casey Williamson. Missed downstairs, so that's a walk. Now that's Beckham DeSoto's first walk, and Coach Brown is outside the dugout. He's going to give a new supply of baseballs and maybe give Beckham a chance to rest. It's been a hot night, and as I suspected, Coach Brown will go out. Doesn't have his cap on. That's kind of interesting. Anyway, he'll go out, and he'll have a visit. I mean, with this South Hardin baseball team, you can't fall asleep on this team. I know you got a 6-run lead, but a single and a walk to start this sixth inning. And you got Garrett, you got some good hitters coming up here. So they're gonna let DeSoto stay in there. But I also think they're really keeping a close eye on him. Like if he loses a couple of more people, then you may see a pitching change. They have good pitching depth. I mean, they've got DeRossett. They can bring in Siegert, Pauly, Christensen. So now here's Garrett Anderson, the fourth place hitter. Garrett batting .292. And the first pitch is on the way. That's a strike call. Do you think he'll try to bunt? So Peyton Welch started this thing off with a single, then Casey Williamson with a walk. So that's 3 base hits for South Hardin. And the 0-1, he overthrew that one and threw it upstairs and inside. West Marshall's out hit this team 4-3. That's the first walk issued tonight by Beckham DeSoto. And the 1-1, here it is. Swing and a miss. Beckham has struck out 4. Hasn't had a strikeout since the third. He'd like to strike out here. Garrett Anderson would at least like to advance the base runners, 1-2 is the count. And the 1-2, here it is. Swing, and there's a ball that's going to plug the gap. It's cut off by the center fielder, but the run is going to score, and South Hardin is not done in this game. So an RBI single. That brings a run home. Now that makes the score 7-2. So the center fielder did a good job. He prevented it from rolling to the fence. I suspect if Beckham loses another runner, then West Marshall may have a decision to make, and there's still nobody out. And you got runners on at first and third. So Anderson with an RBI single, and here's Preston Dolash. So Welch started this thing with a single, and then there was a walk, and then Garrett Anderson with a nice piece of hitting with a base hit. Here's Jonah Vanderwilt. Now he's at first, so what are they going to try to do with him, if anything? You think they'll start him? So Vanderwilt is out there. So Garrett Anderson with a nice RBI single. And you got a good hitter here in Dolash batting .395, and he swings and misses. So DeSoto had a 2-strike count on the hitter, and Anderson with a nice piece of hitting laced it into center field for a base hit, and the run scores. Now it's 7-2. And a tough cookie in Dolash batting .395, man. 0-1 is the count. First and third. There's the outside corner, strike call. You got the right guy up there if you're South Hardin. Preston is struck out, and he's grounded out to the shortstop. Runner off first shows no signs that he wants to run. 0-2 is the count. Long look, here it is. Strike 3 called. That's the first strikeout, and a key one. That's the first strikeout since the third inning. So Dolash batting .395. He's a good hitter, but he goes down swinging. Now here's Bo Carpenter. So the pitch count's got to be getting up there. What is 110 per game? It's got to be getting up there for Beckham, plus the hot weather. And here's Bo Carpenter. Now that's 1 out. That missed upstairs. Bo tonight has grounded to the first baseman, and he's grounded to the shortstop. A single and a walk and a single. And West Marshall, their lead cut now to 7-2. Next pitch. That's going to be a wild pitch. Gets away, scores a run. A wild pitch scores a run. And this game is getting really interesting. Now it's 7-3. So that moves the base runner up to second base. A single, a walk, a single, and now a wild pitch. And here's Bo Carpenter, and there's only 1 out. Now it's 7-3. So 2-0 is the count. Carpenter steps in, the catcher. Base hit, potentially could score a run. Courtesy runner out there at second, gets a nice lead off second. And they fake the throw back. And now that's a fake one, and they got him in a rundown, and he is going to be safe at third. Okay, they tried a little trick play where the pitcher faked the throw, and they acted like the ball had gotten away. It did not, and they had the kid in a rundown, but West Marshall did not handle that very well, and he slid under the tag. He was safe easily at third base. So West Marshall, got a little fancy there with that trick pickoff thing, and they had the kid in the rundown, but they just threw poorly. Safe. Now 2-0 is the count. There's a strike call. So good job by Vanderwilt. he kind of got in that rundown because he kind of fell for the fake, but he was able to slide in safely. Swing, and there's a pop-up. No play for anybody. A single, a walk, a single. That wild pitch. And then West Marshall makes an error. They did the fake pickoff thing. And they had the guy out at third base, Vanderwelt, but they threw high and he slid in safe. So, 2-2 the count. That missed upstairs. I mean, this game's really getting interesting now. You got a 7-3 score, and there's only one out. A lot of things to get that runner home from one out. So Carpenter steps out. Weig is in the on-deck circle. Bo Carpenter has a 3-2. And here it is. Missed upstairs. There's a walk. And Coach Brown is pacing. And so here is the 7th hitter to bat, Weig. I mean, I really suspected that he loses Weig. They may make a pitching change because the tying run is in the on-deck circle. And here's Weig. So this is 2 walks in the inning here for DeSoto. They fake to third. They fake to first. And we'll see if Bo wants to do any running off first base. He takes his lead. Vanderwelt off third. Runner not going, swinging a foul straight back. This has been a long 6th inning, and he's got to be getting up there with this pitch count. So some good at-bats here by South Hardin in the last 3 innings. They scored a run in the last inning, and they've played at 2 here. It's 7-3, and they're not done yet. Next pitch, missed downstairs. Weig batting 175. So you got Colby Zolar in the on-deck circle. 1-1 is the count. Runners on at first and third. Runner not going. Swinging. There's a ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score a run. It's 7-4. Things really get interesting now. So an RBI single by Weig, and Coach Brown takes the long walk. And now that makes the score 7-4. So Coach Brown takes the long walk, so an RBI, a single, a walk, an RBI single. They've now out-hit this team 5-4. So DeSoto got him into the 6th inning, but Coach Brown eventually has to make a pitching change, and there's only one out here. And the score is now 7-4. Welch started with a single, then we had a walk, then we had a single. The wild pitch, that scored a run, and then a walk, and then another single off the bat of Weig. And we will step away as West Marshall warms up a new pitcher. So Beckham got him into the 6th, but things have really tightened up at 7-4, and there's only one out. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this on KDAO.
In Searing, McCallsburg, St. Anthony, Clemens, and the surrounding rural areas, Minerva Valley Companies is your local provider for internet service, local and long-distance telephone, and digital video, all available from one local provider. At Minerva Valley, they offer fiber to the home, high-speed internet, telephone service, and digital video TV. You pick the programming package, and Minerva Valley will give you great service. See why Minerva Valley should be your source for entertainment and internet. Log on to minervavalley.com. Minerva Valley Companies, providing voice, video, and data.
Welcome back, Central Iowa High School baseball. Kind of a long game here. A lot of base runners. West Marshall felt pretty good. They led 7-0 actually, and then a run scored by South Hardin in the 5th, and now they put up 3 here, and they force a pitching change. I believe that's Polly out there. So Hunter Polly, good pitcher. good golfer. He's 2-4, 34 innings pitched and a 4.24 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 15 walks. And now it's South Hardin that wants to get in the bullpen. So, Beckham is done. Here's Kobe Zolar. And runners on at first and second, and there's still only one out. He represents a tying run. Missed outside. So they bring in Hunter Pauley to try to put out the fire, the senior. A home run. Well, 7-4 is the score. Tying run is in the on-deck circle. There's a fly ball. That'll be foul. 1-1 is the count on Zolar. Now you've got Cable, and then you go to the top of the order. And West Marshall's really not too interested in pitching to the top of the order with this lineup with people on base. They're not interested in that at all. 1-1 the count. Runners lead from first and second. Swing, and there is a ball to the shortstop. They go to third for the out. Okay, good job by the shortstop. Got the force out at third. Of course, one of the big plays in this game was when they had Vanderwilt picked off on the fake pickoff thing. They ran him to third base, but then they threw high and he slid under. Now, this is Clayton Cable. Now, if you're West Marshall, you really, really, really would like to retire him, and then you don't have to deal with Spindler until the seventh inning, and you still maintain your 3-run lead. It actually was a 7-run lead at one point in time. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. So Pauley comes in, Hunter comes in relief of Beckham. And he induces a ground ball to the shortstop so they get the lead runner. This is Cable, and you got the dangerous Spindler on deck. West Marshall doesn't want to see Spindler with people on base, man. Now we've got 2 out. That missed. Clayton tonight has struck out, and he's grounded out to the second baseman. 1-1 is the count. Clayton Cable stands in from the right side. The dangerous Spindler lurks in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. Tied him up. So Hunter Pauley coming in trying to put out the fire. South Hardin has scored 3 here to make it manageable. And Cable looking for the all-important 2-out RBI base hit. That would also bring up the dangerous Spindler. 1-2 is the count. Next pitch from Hunter. And here it is. Swing and a fly ball. That ball is trouble. That ball is going to drop for a base hit. And the run is going to score. Here comes another runner. Instead, they hold him back. So a little bloop single by Cable. Okay, now it's 7-5. That ball was troubled from the moment it left the bat. And it got blooped into right field. So an RBI single. Now you got the top of the order up here. So Josh Spindler, I mean, they've been very lucky with him. Grounded to the second baseman, grounded to the second baseman, grounded to the pitcher. Now you got a base hit would tie this thing, and a home run would give the Tigers a lead. Isn't this crazy? Swing and a miss. So they knock Beckham out of the game. Pauley comes in, gets a ground ball out, but then a little looping base hit by the ninth place hitter, Cable. And here comes the 0-1. A base hit would score 2. Time called. Spindler steps out. Base hit most likely would tie this game up. So a little bloop single by Cable here in the top of the 6th inning. So a super long inning for South Hardin, but a good one as they've scored 4, and it's 7-5. In the dirt. Pauley goes back up on top. You got runners on at second and third for the Tigers. A 7-1 lead is now a 7-5 lead for West Marshall. Swing, and there's a ground ball. That's going to be booted by the second baseman. Everybody's safe. Here comes the run to score. Now they got him in a rundown as they chase him back to third, and now they tag him out, so West Marshall gets out of the inning, but the run scores. So you had a ground ball to the second baseman who booted it. Then he picked it up, and they tried to send the runner home. From third base. He got caught in a rundown, and they chased him down and tagged him out. But that was a dang good inning for South Hardin. Now it's very manageable for them. Polly comes in, gives up a ground ball, then an RBI single, that looping single. Then the ground ball to the second baseman that was booted by the second baseman, but he picked it up and he saw they were trying to, score the runner. And he was just right there making a good throw to home plate, and they had him out at the plate. They ran him back and tagged him out. But South Hardin now has all of a sudden made this game manageable. They've now hit West Marshall 6-4. So here we go in the bottom of the sixth inning, and we'll keep it right here. So Garrett Anderson, he got out of a heck of a jam in the fifth inning. West Marshall, they could have won this game in the bottom of the fifth inning with a grand slam home run by DeSoto, but he popped up to the second baseman. Then the Tigers went to work, and they scored 5 runs in that sixth inning. So here in the bottom of the sixth inning, if you're West Marshall, you would like to try to get a run or two as the Tigers have rattled the Trojans big time here. West Marshall has only had 4 base hits. They've been given a lot of freebies. So 2 big innings. West Marshall did the 6-run inning in the 4th inning, then 5 runs for South Hardin here in the 6th. Okay, we'll have 4, 5, and 6. Riley Hanford, Drake Whitaker, Carver Christensen. If anybody gets on base, Blake Hart. Garrett Anderson's job, keep the score right where it's at. In the 7th inning, it'll be the heart of the order for South Hardin. In Welch, Williamson, and Anderson. Swing, and there's a fly ball. That's going to go past the outfielders. And we've got a leadoff double here. I mean, he just stroked that thing. It got between the outfielders. So Hanford with a leadoff double. That makes West Marshall feel a little bit better. Leadoff batter is on for the 3rd time tonight. This game is well over 2 hours with a lot of base runners and a lot of action. 7-6, still got a game to play tonight with AP and Grundy Center. So this is Drake Whitaker batting .202. West Marshall really could use another insurance tally. Going to bunt the ball. Good bunt. Pitcher gets it. They go to third base, and he is going to be out. Good play by the pitcher. Threw it to third base. Third baseman made the tag. Good play, out. So the double is wasted. So a ground ball back to the pitcher. So instead of a runner at third, you got a runner at first and 1 out. And here's Carver Christensen. He's been busy tonight. So now you got Whitaker on at first base. And he rips the ball into right field for a base hit for West Marshall. That's a 6-base hit. So the base hits are even. And now batting for the Trojans is going to be Blake Hart. Bottom of the order has done a good job for West Marshall. And again, South Hardin trying to keep the score right where it's at, 7-6. They got a big break there in that ground ball out after the leadoff double. They got the lead runner at third. And there's a strike. Garrett Anderson, the third pitcher after they went through 2 last night. So a double, then a ground ball out, and then a single. And here's the 0-1. Swinging a foul straight back. This is Blake Hart batting .150. Blake struck out at the last time up. He's also reached on an error, and he's popped up to the shortstop. 0-2 is the count. Bottom of the 6th. Missed upstairs. For the Tigers in the top of the 7th, they'll have the right guys up there, 2, 3, 4, Welch, Williamson, and Anderson. It's now a 7-6 game. West Marshall had a 7-1 lead. Now it's 7-6. 1-2 is the count. Hit him. That's 5 hit batsmen. So now you got the bases loaded and 1 out. And for the Trojans, it's going to be Bo Benson. So you got the bottom of the order here. So after the leadoff double was wasted, then they rebuilt the dam with a single and a hit batsman. Now you got the bases loaded. South Hardin could use a pop-up or a strikeout. And there's a swing and a miss by Bo Benson. DeRossett is in the on-deck circle. We have 1 out. West Marshall doesn't want to let this opportunity pass them by. You got bases loaded, 1 out, and you're ahead by only 1 run in the bottom of the 6th inning. You got to try to get some more runs. Here comes the 0-1, and it's headed home. Swing and a miss. Anderson striving for the strikeout. Oh and 2 is the count. And the next pitch here is the 0-2. Swing and a little pop-up. That ball is chased by the second baseman, and he catches it. And they can't bring the run home. Great play by the second baseman. He caught it, dove in foul territory. You could have made a case for West Marshall because, I mean, he was on the ground in foul territory, and it would have been a heck of a play for him to get up and make and try to throw it home, but we'll never know. So a pop-up to the second baseman. Great play there by the second baseman for the Tigers in Cable. And now you got DeRossett as the Tigers try to get out of this jam, and there's a swing and a miss. Tigers have all the momentum. They were down 7-1. Now it's 7-6. And if they can get out of this inning, they've got plenty of momentum, and they got the good hitters coming up in the top of the 7th inning. Don Bosco won a tough one tonight, 9-8 in the bottom of the 7th inning over East Marshall. Swing and a miss. Tiger fans roaring with every pitch. West Marshall had bases loaded and 1 out, and a pop-up to the second baseman. And DeRossett looking for something to bring up Siegert. South Hardin wants it to end right here. 0-2 is the count. And here's the pitch. Swing, and there's a fly ball foul. We'll do it again. Siegert's in the on-deck circle. Tigers would just as soon not see him for the rest of the night. In the bottom of the 6th, it's suddenly a 7-6 game. At one point in time, West Marshall had a 7-1 lead. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the 0-2. Missed upstairs. Now there's no place to put him. 1-2 is the count. Can't have any more hit batsmen. They've already had 5 of those. DeRossett with a 1-2. And here it is. Swinging a foul straight back, so he's hanging tough against the third pitcher tonight, Garrett Anderson. I think Pauly will go back to the mound in the 7th inning to try to win it for West Marshall, whose 7-1 lead is now 7-6 on KDAO. Here comes the 1-2 to Turner DeRossett with the bases loaded and 2 out. Here it is. Swing, and that ball is trouble. That ball is going to fall for extra bases, and we've got a 2-run double. Here comes the 3rd run, and unbelievable. The 9th place hitter, Turner DeRossett, reaches back for a little muscle, and a bases loaded double. That brings in 3. And now it's 10-6. The Tigers were a strike away from getting out of this jam, and DeRossett reaches back for a little muscle, and the 9th place hitter batting .215 pounds a 3-run double. The freshman came through, and here's Siegert. Now it's 10-6. And that ball is going to be popped to the second baseman for the out. Man, 3 big runs. You talk about clutch running. You talk about clutch hitting. DeRossett, the 9th place hitter, with a bases-loaded double. DeSoto had a bases-loaded double, but DeRossett, the 9th place, and you expect that out of DeSoto. But Turner DeRossett, I mean, he has 3 doubles. Well, now he has 4. And so he clears the bases. West Marshall now has a little 4-run cushion. Pauly goes back to the mound. This has been a long baseball game, but West Marshall now has the lead of 10-6. Pauly goes back to the mound to try to save it and get the Trojans into Saturday night. I'll be back after this.
Are you ready to make the most of your college experience? Look no further than Ellsworth Community College in Iowa Falls, Iowa. At Ellsworth, we offer a world of possibilities with 55 different academic programs to choose from. We also offer 8 NJCAA athletic programs and 2 club programs so you can get involved in the sport you love and be part of a winning team. Ellsworth Community College is where you can experience a 4-year education in just 2 years. Ready to take the first step? Visit us online at ellsworthcollege.com for more information or give us a call at 641-648-4611. Experience Ellsworth today.
Welcome back to Central Iowa High School Baseball. Been a long game tonight. We started at 5 o'clock. A lot of fireworks here. At one point in time, West Marshall led 1-0. Then it was 7-1. And then it was 7-6. And then Turner DeRossett, the 9th place hitter for West Marshall, the freshman, reaches back for a little muscle and pounds one, plugged the gap, brought home 3. And now you've got Hunter Pauly, who came in relief of DeSoto, trying to end it. He's got to go through the good hitters, but that 3 runs they got was just monster. So 10-6 is the score. South Hardin has won 9 in a row. West Marshall's won 3 in a row. This is much different than last year when it was like a 3-0 win for West Marshall in the same game. So it's going to be Welch, Williamson, and Anderson, and he gets on base Dolash. If you're West Marshall, you don't want to be walking the leadoff batter. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop gets it, long throw, and he will be OUT. Good play by the shortstop. 1 pitch, 1 out. You got a speedy Welch, so ground ball to the shortstop.
Next up for the Tigers, number 20.
And we're going to wrap up our game really quick so John can step in and provide a little video and audio of the Grundy Center baseball game. So I'll have the shortest post game in the history of post games. But this game is not over yet. South Hardin still has 2 outs left. And first pitch missed upstairs. But they did get a tough cookie in Welch to ground out, and here's Casey Williamson. Casey tonight has struck out, and he has a base hit, and he has a walk. Fouls it back. So, again, I mean, West Marshall, they were just kind of hanging on. Their 6-run lead had been chopped to 1, and then of all people, DeRossett with a 3-run double in that 6th inning. So you had a 3-run double by DeSoto, which you kind of expect out of him in the 4th inning, and then DeRossett comes through with a 3-run double in the 6th inning. You talk about clutch hitting, man. Okay, here comes the 1-2, and that missed outside. West Marshall has out-hit South Hardin 7-6, but I keep going back to some of the freebies. The 3 errors. That ball missed outside. The 3 errors. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks and 5 hit batsmen. Okay, here comes the 3-2. That missed.
Next up for the Tigers, number 17, Garrett Anderson.
And here's Garrett Anderson. So Williamson gets on base. So this game's not over yet. Garrett with a ground ball to the shortstop. Out at second. They go to first. And the ball gets away from Hart. But they do get the lead runner on a ground ball. And now the Tigers are down to their last out. Good play by that shortstop. I tell you what, the shortstop, we're talking about Whitaker, has made several good plays tonight. So, now, in essence, that run at first base doesn't mean anything, so you can put all your attention on Preston Dolash, and you need to put all your attention on Preston Dolash. 395, even if he hits a home run, you still got a 2-run lead. thanks to DeRossett's bases loaded double. So, here's Preston Dolash batting .395 with a runner on at first base. And there's a ground ball. Third baseman gets it, throws to second, out, and Wes Marshall gets a hard-fought victory tonight, 10-6. So Wes Marshall improves to 19-12. That 3-run double by DeRossett was just huge, man. And that gave Wes Marshall the little cushion that they needed. I mean, they had a 7-1 lead, and South Hardin came from behind. A great season ends for South Hardin. They had won 9 games in a row leading up to this game. And so they lose, and Wes Marshall now improves to 19-12. And they went through 2 pitchers, so they should have either Siegert or Carver Christensen ready to go for Saturday night. But Wes Marshall wins this thing. They deserved it. South Hardin also made some uncharacteristic errors. And Wes Marshall wins this thing by a score of 10-6. We'll have high school softball tomorrow night. That's it. I want to thank Mr. Lindeman for the Gatorade. I want to thank the coaches for giving me the lineup, okay, and in this ball game. And we got the second game coming up next for you. So I want to thank all those guys for helping us make our broadcast possible. And thanks to Andrew Sternhagen for not smoking tonight. I'm Chuck Carpenter. This has been a sports presentation of KDAO. Good evening.
Tonight's game was made possible by Central State Bank, Partner Communications, Marshalltown Community College, Hardin County Savings Bank, Minerva Valley Companies, Ellsworth Community College, Hanson Family Hospital, J&T Plumbing and Heating, D&B Agro Systems, Eldora Hy-Vee. This has been a special sports presentation of KDAO.